Welcome all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily Culture. My name is Maria Kądzielska-Koper, and today we are talking about Armia Krajowa, Polish National Army, and the World War II, because we have a very special guest, Carson Baker, American researcher about Polish history. Thank you very much for showing up here.
Thank you.
So I do have this feeling that probably you're going to be another Norman Davies of a new generation. Fingers crossed for that. And you are interested in the Polish National Army and what happened during the World War II. So let's go to the beginnings and tell us the beginnings of Armia Krajowa. How did it start?
Well, you could say that the Armia Krajowa started before the end of the September campaign. And there are several reasons for this. One is that Poland, because of its history of occupation by Russia and Germany and Austria as well, had this conspiratorial culture. They had this ingrained into them, this idea of cooperating with like-minded associates and sort of undermining the political oppressor of the day. And so many of the individuals who spearheaded the Armia Krajowa during the Second World War had actually been involved in the resistance to the Russians during the imperial era. So they had some good practice, certainly. And one of these men was the father of Dr. Kulski, Mayor Julian Kulski, who served actually as the mayor of occupied Warsaw during this period after the abduction of Stefan Starzyński. But back to the origins of Armia Krajowa. I would say that the date at which you can really say it began was September 26th, 1939. And the reason I say that is because on that day, a member of the intelligence section of the General Staff, Major Edmund Gallinat, flew from Bucharest, Romania, with a Polish crew aboard a interned Polish aircraft, and landed in Mokotów Field, or what remained of Mokotów Field. And he was carrying with him orders from Marshal Śmigły to organize an underground resistance movement in Poland. So after arriving, Major Gallinat was immediately taken to the headquarters of General Rommel in Marszałkowska Street.
Yes. Well, we know a lot.
Thank you. And he presented these orders to General Rommel, and General Rommel said he did not think that he would be appointing Edmund Gallinat as commander. And instead he chose General Michał Tokarzewski. He was a higher rank major general versus a major, so quite a significant difference there. But also, there's a case to be made that some of the generals did not really trust the government of Śmigły after September 17th, after the government was forced to flee into Romania after the Soviet invasion. So it was a very complicated period politically. There was a lot of internal political conflict as well as military conflict with Poland's adversaries. So at this point, General Tokarzewski set out assembling the Armia Krajowa, or its predecessor organizations. Actually, it wasn't called Armia Krajowa at that time just yet. But one of the most prominent events which occurred just a few days after this was Adolf Hitler's visit to Warsaw. And of course, he paraded down Ujazdowski and held his victory parade. And at this time, somebody had come up with the idea, well, maybe the Poles should kill Hitler on his visit to Warsaw. And how different would history have been if they'd succeeded?
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, this had failed, and Hitler survived his visit to Warsaw. But this was one of many very ambitious assassination attempts that were developed by the Polish underground in the ensuing years. And it wasn't actually the last time they attempted to get after Hitler himself, but among others, they attempted to take the lives of General Kruger in Krakow. There were plans actually to kill Hans Frank, and these were all the actions of some very specialized units that were formed about a year after this event and lasted effectively until the end of the summer of 1943.
Well, all fascinating, and I would say it's also, unfortunately, they didn't succeed because how different the World War II would be, and another 4 years of Europe if this was actually a success. A fascinating way how you say all of this, and I do hope that this passion of yours will also be, you will feel the viewers of Poland Daily and share the same passion, of course, into the history of Poland and the history of Armia Krajowa. Definitely check out what happened, and you will get maybe as well fascinated and come to visit Warsaw yourself. And thank you for watching our show.